I'm traveling, I'm traveling, with that feeling of nowhere to belong on my back. The lack of my melody, of my hanging head, with that feeling. I'm traveling, I'm traveling, I'm traveling. Nowhere, somewhere, somewhere we step, with that feeling of nowhere to belong on my back. I'm traveling.
We are going to tell you the story of a garden. Not just any garden, but a magical vegetable garden where tastes and colors are embraced by the sea. In the Areias de Seixo Hotel in Portugal.
This town, this place, a drink, the everlasting sweet to bear. You can always go further, unless you think that there.
Every story needs a beginning, and this one begins on the bottom with the dirt, or more appropriately, the soil. Every healthy ecosystem on our planet has one thing in common: a naturally covered soil, a layer of organic matter over the dirt. Plants need the organisms that live in the soil in order to grow. These organisms are often invisible to the human eye. They are as small as they are important. This micro-ecosystem generates a vast spectrum of essential and vital nutrients that become available for the roots of the plants. Soil is a living organism. The soil itself needs a supply of nutrients, and this is where our chickens come in. They eat the weeds, scratch the ground, and fertilize it with their excrements. They rotate between specific areas about every 3 weeks, helping us bring their beneficial contribution to different parts of the garden. Here, in this vegetable garden, all the elements have a purpose, a contribution to the whole system, and often more than just one. This method of using stack functions is inspired on a relatively recent approach on sustainable living called permaculture. During the development of this garden, permaculture and agroforestry were a great source of knowledge and strategic decision-making for designing it into a self-sustaining edible forest. Compost is an essential element for increasing fertility in the garden. Compost piles are made of layers of diverse materials such as straw, kitchen scraps from the hotel's restaurant, eggshells and coffee grounds, as well as grass cuttings, weeds, chopped wood, and plants with deeper roots that extract and accumulate minerals from the subsoil. After around 18 days of turning and aerating the pile, the compost is ready. The heat it releases reveals the intense metabolic activity, and it is full of nutrients and perfect for nourishing the soil. Rye, a wonderful source of food and straw. We use it as mulch in our garden. Mulch slows down water, stops evaporation, controls the weeds, and works as insulation against extreme temperatures. The organic matter that has been added during the years has created a natural blanket, a topsoil that is able to hold water far more efficiently than just sand. With the compost and the straw, we can start planting our crops. Growing diversity means better nutrition. The interaction between each plant and an abundant diversity of species is a plus for making a productive, healthy, and self-maintaining garden. The garden approaches a complete habitat for insects, frogs, bees, and wasps, lizards, birds, and many others. It emulates a natural ecosystem with rockeries and small ponds where many beneficial elements can evolve without being disturbed, so they can be integrated in the cycle in harmony and balance. Any chosen variety of shapes, colors, and smells is carefully designed into place. Lavender is placed towards the prevailing wind, spreading its smell, sending the non-beneficial insects away and attracting pollinators instead. Following this strategic placement principle, edible flowers and aromatic herbs are mixed with the vegetables. It's an organized chaos, where every little thing has its place. Outside the chicken areas, we grow perennial plants. They are planted only once into their definitive place. Besides being a continuous source of food, perennial plants can be very nutritious because of their vast root system that has time to develop during the years. Diversity means stability, and that means the garden has always something to offer throughout the year. To have strong generations of plants adapted to this climate and to this soil, seed saving is a particularly important step. The seeds are produced in the end of the cycle of the plant. They dry in the sun the whole summer until we harvest them, select the best ones, clean them, and then keep them to sow later. Sowing is a delicate job. Tiny seeds go carefully in the soft soil, one by one. We have to make sure that these seedlings have the best conditions to germinate, so we put them in a warm place and water them frequently. A nursery was built to awake little seedlings of trees and bushes into the next generation to guarantee a complete cycle. An important source of minerals comes down from the sky quite regularly, and we want to harvest it. So we shape the landscape on contour, creating swales that will help to slow, sink, and spread the water horizontally, rehydrating the garden. The pathways are like little swales, and to increase fertility, they are covered with a local and abundant resource, giant reed. This reed is used in the garden also as a construction material and a good source of organic matter. Weeds are part of our harvest. We use them in the compost, or we let them decompose on the spot to directly return its nutrients to the soil. Some of them have long tap roots that break the compacted soil, while others have shallow root systems that hold the soil together. This mosaic of colors and smells is an inspiration for everyone. Herbs, flowers, and organic vegetables from our garden can be taken home for an unforgettable delight, awakening the senses with aromas and colors. A fresh harvest of amazing tastes brings surprises to the table every single day. The garden of Areias to Seixo is a place to be, to get inspired, perhaps to read a book, a place to feel, a place to enjoy.